What's going on, YouTubes? It is time for a little bit of a recap. Another exciting day, a little bit of a slow chop, but let's get into it. So posting on the X this morning, had some tops played out way back 7 hours ago, 6 in the morning sometime. Made this post. I said there's a lot of 1 minute gaps left open through the PM shift on NQ. Qs is planning something, watching anything under 18,262 to fill all these and hold down today. So why in the world did we call short all day, and how did we know the market was going to give up that many points? Let's get into it. So I call this a cluster of gaps, right? If there's one single gap on a 1 minute chart at NQ, that's fine. That happens. It can be left open. If there is a cluster of gaps, aka 3 or more here, 2 or more is what it usually looks at, but I look for 2 or more on the 1 minute chart. These algorithms are not a fan of leaving these gaps open same day. Like I said, one gap, like we've seen here, that's fine. That can actually be left open and a day or two comes back and fills, so on and so forth, perfectly fine. But a cluster of them, like we've seen down here, where multiple 1 minute interaction gaps are left open, those do not fare well. Those fill usually same day. So with that being said, I took a couple of the PA accounts here at the first portion of the day. We had hit some 12 Kers, 10 Kers, 11 Kers on all the accounts, moved up, and then I put a trade plan 4 hours ago, again, for all of X and all the followers in the Discord. And I said, if we happen to stay under the green zone, which is the dual 100 fib, as I explained, and under the 100 EMA here on the SPY, we were going to go down to 520.42 and somewhere near the golden pocket here between 444.85 and 444.42. That was the trade call about 4 or 5 hours ago, right after I got off live stream. So let's take a peek on how that played out. Well, did okay, I'd say. So we come back down to the green zone, and it did stay a little above it for a little bit there. That's fine, but there was confirmation, right? We're confirmation traders here. So here's the green zone. It popped back up, never held, just went over the green zone, tiny bit right here, hit some volume area highs, rolled back around. And we can check that MAC. RSI worked out a little bit, but key factors here, a lot of sellers in control, sellers in control, sellers in control. So sellers were in control most of the day. And as we're coming into the end of the day today, I wanted to see it down near the golden pocket. The golden pocket is usually above or below the 50 for me. So right here is where that ending target would have been. Now, we're not quite there yet. We're getting close to it. On the Qs, sure, but like I said, the NQ gaps are what's the most important. So even if the QQQ doesn't get down to my target, and ooh, I missed it by 20 cents, big deal, it doesn't matter to me. The SPY, let's move over to that one. And we called for the 100 fib, and again, we're getting very close to this target. We came within not even within a point on ES of target. Okay, so I trade futures, so 10 to 1 on SPY. Whenever you get 10 cents, it's 1 point, $1 whole on SPY, 10 whole points on ES. So when you see 10 cents like that, that is only 1 point. So we missed target the first dump by 1, and we're back there right now. Now the day's not over, and we're going to see how this continues to play through and push. But regardless, we have some really big data points coming up and so on and so forth, and wanted to go. So let's get into how we broke this down. First, we're going to start with the anchors here and why I took what I took. Okay, so 15-minute and 30-minute Qs and SPY. I like to generally go through a pre-market and yesterday's high to kind of see where we're at. Now, the purple VWAP is the center, and everything above and below that is a 1, 2, 3 extension. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And those legs need retraces, and this is what saves us and gives us extra confirmation throughout the day of trading. So today we had this wash all the way, and when we start getting into that minus 3 anchor, minus 3 anchor, minus 3 anchor, we start to get overextended to that downside here on Q. Let's make it a little easier here. Let's make it one panel. There we go. So we can get deep into this minus 3. So you can see every single time we kind of get, that's past minus 3, that's into the minus 3, that was very close to minus 3. We generally get a retrace, and every time we use the anchor and the center VWAP as an over-under, okay? So this purple VWAP right here is our over-under. So when something gets overextended to the downside, we expect a retrace to our over-under level, overextended to the downside, retrace to our over-under level, so on and so forth. You get the hint, right? But the gaps on the NQ were the main deciding factor of how well we did today and why we had those targets a whole day ahead of time. Now, again, this is going to be pretty mimicked on SPY. So you can go to SPY, it's going to be the exact same thing here. Top down, so the pre-market high was anchored using 3 extensions, and we waited for the pop back to short, pop back to short, and drain for the rest of the day, and that was the plan. So I do still have market shorts on. Let's get back into the regular day here. Now, two big things I will cover today for you guys is the Fibonacci's, and we'll get into that a little bit, and some of the gaps. Now, let's jump on this. Qs. So Qs, to start with, had an amazing day today on this big wash, and it was because of the Fibonacci. Let's get to the right friggin' panel here. There we go, the messy one. So we go to the daily chart, and I like to start off with a couple different fibs here, and, well, I'll tell you why. The all-time high candle, I fibbed out the body, right? And Fibonacci states, and you can check our videos on indicators and how we use them here, if something is in our box of Fibonacci, and then the days prior coming into the box break out and then back, well, we have really good levels to use. So look at this one here. Here's our box, and it goes down into the 1618 territory, okay? If this 1618 is not used as resistance to continue to the 2618, we are now utilizing the 1618 as support. And where does that travel back to? It travels back to the 100 fib bottom of the box. So after hitting the 1618, and if we cannot continually use it as resistance to go down, we will use it as support and go up from here back to the 100 fib. And that would be your target. That happened right here, 325. Okay. And then it pushed all the way back inside the box. But where does the box go? We got to go back to the golden pocket. So once back in the box, over the 100 fib, where do we go? Well, the golden pocket is above or below the 50 right here. And that's what we're going to look for the short. So the short was watchable from 447 to 447.73. Okay. So let's take a peek intraday what that looks like. And we're going to go over the next fib right here. Now, we also have the next fib here is yesterday's high low. Okay. 325. So remember that one here. Let's change that color. Actually, let's change it all to a red so we can see that, and it'll differentiate. Differentiate. You know what I'm talking about. Those plays. Now, this is where I got my golden fib, and this is why I said it was going to come back down to here for the golden pocket on Qs. Now, here's the daily in the white and above. So we started here, forced up, and where did we do? We washed it, opened up, came to the golden pocket right here, above or below that 50, right? And then washed it. And then we had perfect trend from there, lower highs, lower lows in sequence, right? No big deal. And coming into the next fib, which we utilized, and this is why I drew the green box on X and gave everybody that free play, we came to, oh, it's right on screen still. I thought I was going to have to draw it again. This green box right here. So this green box demonstrates the daily fib from the all-time high and the daily fib from yesterday. So I'm utilizing both 100 fibs right here as a channel of direction. Once this channel is lost on the 100 fibs, and again, this is going to reiterate into what happens when we break back inside a fib. So what happened for the first all-time high? We broke inside the 100 fib, and we needed to go to the golden pocket on the daily fib of the all-time high body. What happened on yesterday's fib? Let's delete this one. Now we don't have the all-time high body. What happened for yesterday's high-low? Same thing. Here's the 100. We broke back into the 100. This is the box. Where do we go? Golden pocket. Where's the golden pocket? Above or below the 50. Where did I call the target when I called the meeting from here and here, and I said I was going to go down to the golden pocket? Hit him with the flex. We killed this. Come on. That was purely off fib levels, nothing else. I used a VWAP and fib levels. I'm trying to minimize a lot of the oscillation indicators after FMC because they weren't giving us a lot of great readings. And you can see right here, there's not a lot of great readings. There's no extremes. There's not anything over hot. There's not anything over with cold, so on and so forth. This is our first cold. Look at the whole freaking day. Do you see colds or hots here? No, oscillation indicators have not been very helpful. So what are we utilizing? Price action and levels. That's it. Fibonacci, waiting, right? And a little bit of volume. And the volume did tell us on the 5-minute chart, sellers were in control as we are getting closes of seller volume in control of trend, okay? And that's pretty much it. That's how we scored over $70,000 in one day. I hope that makes sense. Stay tuned for the next. If you want to trade with us at Boiler Room Trading, the link is in the description. You want to support the channel, you can use TG33 as a code through Apex. They got an 80% off right now, 1-day pass. Those are the accounts or the funded accounts we trade with. And that's it. So as we come into the target right here, expect a bounce after hours out of this, maybe a little bit of static, continuing to the downside. We still have long-term market puts on. So let's go. See you guys on the next.